Hello, this is Kiki. This is the first episode of Everything in Between, something I'm super excited about. Now, let's get right into it. Let's talk about what people don't always see, and that is building a business together. It's navigating marriage, everything that happens in between that. Super excited today. I have my husband with me for the first one. It's only natural.
Hello, hello.
So, on that, babe, tell everyone, who you are, what you do, and where life currently has us.
Well, that's a loaded question. So my name is Jose. We are the owners of a thriving company as of now. We're entrepreneurs. We're parents. We're in the stage of life where I like to call the growth stage of life.
Survive.
Or so, I wouldn't say survival, but definitely close to it.
A little bit.
But yeah, that's basically what we do, what we are,
Okay.
where we are.
So what we're doing now and what I want to do is obviously I know you, but I want other people to know you. So we're going to go through a couple different segments of our life. First and foremost, because we're in the thick of it right now, it's our first year in business. So let's get into the business start of it. So what's one mistake that made you money later on in life?
Am I allowed to say only one? Or
Yeah, let's go. Is this for
So I would think of the first one that I'm thinking is trusting in people that you think are supposed to do good by you. And you know the story, obviously, about anybody else. But we are investors as well when it comes to real estate. We started in our journey in our business world through real estate, and we flip a lot of homes. And we were doing a flip property with 3 units. We trusted a dear friend's father to ended up doing our rehab for us, and ended up being a disaster, to say the least. Right, the process not only was bad, but the reason why we made money afterwards is because we got into our business now, given that we saw how bad the industry is in that side. So we decided to go ahead and create our own. And that's basically a huge mistake that cost money then. But now we're in that field because we want to correct that field and completely change the spectrum of what it looks like to be a contractor in South Florida.
right? Like we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? But we definitely saw that there was an area of opportunity to make it better, within the space. And I agree. I think that that was a hard lesson to learn at the time, both in not knowing the wiser, right? And just trusting blindly, and then getting the proper understanding now that we have, um, of just not leaving it in someone else's hands, double checking, finding that there's a better solution and more mainstream solutions.
Yeah, not only that, but just trusting, right? I think trusting was a big part where I think, maturing, that was years ago, obviously maturing and doing your due diligence. And even though at that time we thought it was going to be
Drop.
yeah, we thought that was going to be the best thing we found.
Yeah.
And it being one of the
Did
worst.
we end up losing money on that deal? Like, yeah, what is there to sell today?
I wouldn't say losing money because we still have the property. Thank God we held it and we cash flow. But we weren't able to sell it because of that, So it's
Price, yeah.
not only the price, but and our all in doubled because of that.
In our initial plan, like we had to pivot. So, what's a success look like to you right now?
Success for me right now would be, I want to be in a place where I can see my daughter every single day, right? For those of you don't know, we have a beautiful daughter named Camila. I want to be able to see my daughter every single day without having to stress about any monetary, uh, I guess, situations. And at the same time, I want to be able to, uh, build a foundation for her to be able to do whatever she wants. I don't want to guide her in any direction, but definitely I think about it as an airplane. I want to put her on the tarmac. Is that what it's called, right? The tarmac, for her to take off on whatever direction she wants. But the tarmac is what I want to build. That's what I consider success.
Okay. So just get our time back so that we can spend it with her and have enough time with her to be able to love her.
And you as well, obviously, but
Of course. What is your daily non-negotiable? I know this one, but what's your daily non-negotiable?
so we have 3 daily non-negotiable. You know this better than anybody else. I'm gonna keep saying that because But 3 daily non-negotiable, and this is what we pray. I pray this daily as well. Is health, wealth, and happiness. So you got to do once a day at least. You got to do one thing to accomplish one of these things. So On a daily basis, I wake up around 4:30, 5 in the morning to make sure I take care of my health. I go to the gym around that time. Then, wealth, I work on my business throughout the day, but I also, the last thing I want to do is, not in that order specifically, but I also take care of my happiness, which is spending time with you and Cami.
Right.
So one a day, a non-negotiable to do one thing that hits those targets.
I think also, which you didn't say, but I know is important to you because you pray every day is faith. So mixed in that, and always first is you give a kiss in the morning, and then we pray. So it's always the same order as soon as we open our eyes, and then we dive into the rest of the things that we got to do. All right, parenthood. So that ties into that. So I know as a mom, a lot of us experience mom guilt. Do you think men feel the same kind of guilt and they just don't express it, or what are your thoughts on that?
I'll be honest, my perspective, and you changed my perspective completely on this once I saw what women go through. I tell you, after they get pregnant, and the not only the changes in the body, but the mood and having a child come out of you is it changes your perception of how strong a woman really is. So I don't know mom guilt like you know it, or any woman knows it. But I think there's a form of it for any parent, right? Given that part of my success, I think, what I consider successful is how much time I spend with my daughter and my wife. So I definitely think I do experience that, and I don't vocalize it, but it's not because I can't compare it because I would never know what it is to be a woman, at this world, right? In this lifetime.
I think you do experience it. You talk to me a lot about, like, every single day you say, like, I don't see Cammy enough. Like, I want to see Cammy enough, no matter what we're doing. And obviously, it's things that we need to be doing, and just for our mental health as well, even personal things. While we're doing it, you're like, well, should we be with Cammy right now? So,
Do you experience that a lot, Deepak?
absolutely, that's like a give all the time, a constant like. So for you all that don't know our dynamic, our family dynamic, my mother watches my daughter, and thank God, because she know how we would do it otherwise. I'm so happy that we have that option. Not everyone does. So she watches her from basically 9 to 6 or 7 or sometimes 8, right? If we need her to, Monday through Friday. And if we want to go on a date night, she will watch her still on the weekend. So we are super fortunate in that. And while I'm super blessed to have that, I do obviously miss my daughter, and I see the affection that she has towards my mom. And again, I'm so glad that she does, but you get a little jealous. Like, I'm like, I was her. I will loved me that way. But my mom's house is like her house. She's 5 minutes away from me. She's in the best hands ever. So it is.
Sometimes I think about that too, because when we pick her up sometime, or sometime I pick her up, and it's like she doesn't want to leave grandma's arms. It's like, what the heck? Slap. You would think that she just jumps onto your arms and like, oh, boy.
Used to. I feel like she used to, and some does it here or there, understanding things like.
But now it's just like her grandma, and it's like you can't get better, more of a blessing than that. We don't have to put her in daycare or nothing like that. We don't have to, worry about somebody else taking care of her. That I think that's for me, it's a huge blessing. But yeah, you feel a little bit of like, I guess, withdrawal, from her affection.
It's like that closeness. I agree. Absolutely. So fitness and discipline. This is a huge one actually for both of us. I think. This is always something that's been part of our lives, maybe fall off for a little bit, but then right back in. But lately you're keeping me in track. So talk lately a little bit about that. I mean, you always do, but you're on another level.
You're supposed to say always.
So, I always feel like discipline shows up in every part of our lives. So do you think fitness goes hand in hand with business?
Do you think fitness
Goes hand in hand with business?
100%? I challenge anybody watching, to any males watching, get a six-pack and see. And if you have a business or you want to be somewhere in a financial goal, or in your job or whatever the case is, I guarantee you, get a six-pack or like get in the best shape of your life and see where you are financially after that, because it goes directly hand in hand. Once I decided that I just aimed, I've aimed at this target.
Specifically this target.
I want a six-pack. Right.
Thing that came along with making that happen the meal preps, being on the deficit, going to the gym whenever you can, which for you is at 5 in the morning most days.
The only reason I go 5 in the morning is because I don't have any other time during the day. So I said, so a lot of people, I feel like me included, I was thinking, hey, if I can't, you know what, I don't have any time to go to the gym today. So it's not about not having time, it's about making time.
Yeah.
And I feel business goes the same way, right? It's not about having time to go ahead and work on your business or, taking care of that extra client or doing that follow up. It's about making the time to do it. So that is one thing that I feel like goes hand in hand perfectly. So that's one of my challenges that I said, well, I want to see where I'm at once I get a six pack. And like business is
Everything has tied.
thriving more than ever,
Yeah, and I would say, because like for example, right, we always make the excuses of people. They create these scenarios in their mind. I am a huge advocate of going to the gym, if or doing something active every day. You can't take a rest when you need it, but the last 2 weeks I haven't gone to the gym. I've gone maybe once or twice, which is very uncommon for me. And I would venture to say that I've gotten less work done than when I'm actually going to the gym every day. Like when I'm creating those, I can't go to the gym because I'm busy with this or that, or what hour am I going to go, versus when I know I have to be at the gym, I know I need to get this done at this time. Like there's just so much more structure. I'm in a much better mood. Like my stomach doesn't hurt all the time, which is kind of like what I'm feeling right now. I'm more tired. I feel like I'm getting less done. So it just
I just think
percentage
it goes hand in hand also with your mental space, right?
100%.
Sometimes I'm in like in a horrible, like, oh, I wake up like stressed out about the day I have coming on, because we might have 10 consultations and there's 5 projects going on, and I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. And yeah, the easiest thing is to sleep in, but I wake up, I go to the gym, and I'm ready to take on the days. It just puts you in a different mindset all around. So I think it goes hand in hand, fitness and at least financial success, and your business goes hand in hand.
Okay. So now on to marriage and business, because this is what we're doing right now.
Fun one.
This is the thing. Now, me and Jose have always, just so you know, we've always worked together. We met at Carnival Cruise Lines. We were personal vacation planners. I worked there for like 10 years. He came in, he called himself the rookie sensation.
No. They called me the rookie sensation. Let's get that clear.
He really was a rookie sensation. And I thought he was this cocky little thing, and he wasn't. Like he works so hard, and when you meet him, he's like a little teddy bear. But after that, we left. We went into other business ventures. Then we went into a fintech. We've always worked together in the same companies, but we have never worked together within the same business that is ours, which was always really a goal that Jose had. And being with him, there's no way not to have it, because you have this like gravitational pull towards, and you've done that with your friends, with anyone that's in your life. Like you knew you were going to own businesses, multiple of them, throwing everything against the wall to see what sticks. But now I have a huge passion for that as well. And I see it like night and day compared to when I finally left my corporate America, or, 9 to 5 job back in December to now. I'm so much busier, and there's completely different type of stresses, but I'm so much happier. So marriage and business, how do you handle the separation of business and the marriage, right? Partners versus spouse.
There's definitely 2 caps you have to have on. And then I learned this obviously as I go as well, because no one knows these things. You're not born with these set of skills, but you definitely have to have 2 separate caps. That's the way I notice it. Especially and from I'm trying to guide a ship, and I don't even know if there's water there, So that's the way I'm trying to, is the way I think about it, is I'm trying to build a ship. First of all, build a ship, and then guide it into a place where it takes off, and basically the whole business is I'm getting at. But the idea here is that sometimes I feel like I'm all business, where I shouldn't be all business. And sometimes you need to hear just your husband to hear you're not the business owner, or your boss. No, I'm just kidding. But that's something that I definitely struggle with, and I feel like a lot of people probably struggle with that, because when you're a business owner, you just want to make it, right? The unknown is the biggest fear, because you don't know if you're heading the right direction. But my worst fear, at least, is to be running 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction, and that's any business owner's biggest fear. All right. But at the same time, you get sucked into that life where you only worry about that. And that's where I feel a lot of people lose themselves. I don't want to become gazillionaire if I don't have you or Cammy next to me, right? Or my family next to me. What's the point, you know? So the idea is to get there, but also wear the hats that you need to make sure that you come up with those foundational cores that make you happy at the end of the day. So that's why, the happiness tier on a daily basis, I think is very important. So wearing the cap of the husband and the business owner, not simultaneously, is very, very important.
So I'm gonna speak on this part too, right? So me and as far as my household, right, keeping the household in check. While you do help me, with a lot of things, I, for the most part, I think I do more like cooking, cleaning, those things. But also, I would say I'm home more, right? Even with this side of the business. So I think it's difficult for us to separate like, oh, today I cleaned the whole house, but I didn't really do as much for the business. And then the business side of you will be like, we can't do that. Like that has to be reserved for, and I'll be like, for when? Because it has to get done. And I don't function if I'm not in a clean space, or I don't know where to find the things that I need to find, or I don't have the Tupperware to put your meals, etc. in. So I think that part is something that we're navigating through now, understanding that they're both a necessity and very much important. But delegating like the time, like where, when.
I guess the idea there would be just that's exactly right. Putting the time for certain tasks at the correct place, right? So the way I see it is, if there's time to like, if during the week it should be time for all business. Maybe this is wrong. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll figure out, right? Well, but if it's gonna be business, let's go ahead and go after it Monday through Friday. We'll handle the house stuff during the weekend. But then during the weekend,
Is it exactly? So that's interesting.
then the weekend you're with Cammy, or if some family wants to come over and see you,
Ties into,
and it's like, when do you handle it?
because then I'm like, oh, I don't want to do the dishes and laundry and this right now. Just want to be with her. Or I do have to go to a consultation on the weekend, right? And then you have to watch her, and then vice versa. Oh, but now there's our family, right? Or our friends to keep our sanity. Um, it is the stage of life that we're in, and I think we're doing pretty well with it.
We'll just pray about it and figure it out. That's the only way to do it. At the end of the day, I think everyone is going to struggle through this type of phase, and there's a lesson to be learned here somewhere. That's the goal, is to find that lesson. Yeah.
All right. What would you say? Like, well, let's do this. Well, I'm gonna jump into rapid fire questions. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. Don't overthink it. Just jump in. Tell me what your natural organic response is. Okay, ready?
Okay. That will now.
One piece you want to.
Mhm.
What's the one piece of advice you would give an 18-year-old starting a business? Go.
Starting a business, fail at the business.
Okay,
It's the best lesson you'll ever have.
that's fun. So one of the questions I had for you. Okay, we'll elaborate on that. What is fail in the business?
There's no better lesson. There's no school that teaches it. There's no amount of money you can pay to know what it feels to be a rock bottom, or actually fail at something that you thought was going to succeed. There's always an abundance of lessons that come with that will, no matter what you do, your next business after that is most likely going to be more successful than that one. I'm not saying that one's not going to fail. Right. It's going to be more successful than that one, because you have so much knowledge from your previous failure. Right. You'll never be the same person after that failure.
So on this note, because this is fun, we've done a couple of businesses, or Jose rather has done a couple of businesses. I follow you blindly. I mean, I'll ask some questions along the way, and I might touch a little bit, but I will, ultimately, I have always followed your lead. But I think this would be fun to just go through, and I can name a few, but if you want to just start from inception, like businesses that we have tried, like maybe the Turo, like go through the businesses that we have tried. Scooter.
We did scooter charging. We went from
just pause right there for a second. So scooter charging, Jose, even down to buying a van so that he could pick up the scooters. It's like a huge thing. He would pick up all the scooters. He bought a ton of chargers.
Let me say the business idea behind this. Okay, I don't want people to think that I'm just buying huge charging scooters out here. So when Lime scooters came out,
Yeah.
I realized that there was a lot of people just charging these things, and line was paying $10, $15 a scooter. So I said, how can I optimize that and do this really quick on the side? So I said, why don't I buy a scooter, put a generator in it, then charge 15, 20 at a time, and every van will get you, it takes about 5 hours to charge. You can probably do 3 rounds of them, um, and then make thousands of dollars. And that wasn't the case at all. Yeah, and on paper, I think it made sense, but logistically, picking up these scooters,
Logistically was Jose in my living room at 5 in the morning with
they were charged inside the van. Remember that?
that we would unload and load at some point to get it. Because that's around the time that it was like at night when people weren't using them. So you would go out like
Yeah, I would go out like
yard shift.
2, 3 in the morning. I would 2, 3 in the morning, pick up 15 scooters, load them up into the van, and then I realized that the van wouldn't charge the scooter. It would take a lot longer. So then I would just say, all right, let's just charge them at home. And then when I charged them at home, it would take 5 hours. But then I forgot about the unload and reload it, and then go drop them up, and then finding the scooters. You think the scooter's just there waiting for you with a golden light, spotlight on it. That's not the case at all. You have to go. Sometimes I had to hop fences. There's literally people that get these line scooters and throw them over fences to make sure that I didn't find them. I was sure for sure that we're just doing things. It was just
He
impossible.
bought me once and I was like, never again. Like he would just pull up and I would just like, not for nothing. Like it's the city, right? There's homeless people, but there was like, he would just pull up in front of like a city of homeless people, leave the car to go find a scooter, run like 20 minutes later, right? In the rain, and then COVID hit. So we had all these chargers.
Look, that's another thing. I'm so glad COVID hit. But that taught me logistics. Logistics are very, very important. It's not just, hey, think of an idea and it's just going to work logistically. You have to think about things. Like right now with the business we're doing, it's not just get people to sign a contract. It's logistically how we're going to go ahead and deliver that. So that was a huge lesson there. But at the time, I thought we wouldn't be a billionaire.
Absolutely. So that's that one. Then we'll wrap it. We'll go a little bit faster through these. So, COVID.
Turo. Remember the Turo?
Yeah, we had Turo.
So Turo, we just tried the whole Turo situation. We bought, what was it, 3 cars?
Yeah.
We first put our own car on there. It did very well.
It did. That's what.
Then the second one did very well, and then we bought the third and fourth, and then those two, that's when it started declining because it was getting closer and closer to COVID. Remember?
Oh yeah, so it was crazy.
It was about 2019, I think it was, and then from that point on, you just decided to sell. What was it? 2 cars. We kept 2 of them.
We kept 2.
That failed epically. That taught me.
Airbnb.
Airbnb, yeah, that's another one.
We started too big. We got like an 8-bedroom house.
That's another lesson we learned. We don't bite more than you can chew. You don't even know anything about the business. Why are you buying a 7-bedroom home? We didn't even buy it.
We're stuck with it for a year, even though it wasn't renting like we thought it would.
So remember, the first 3 months, it rented extremely well. Right. So we were like, oh, well, mind, let's find the next one. Remember, I was looking for the next one?
Right.
And then like the 3rd month or 4th month hit, and then it was like
money out of pocket. Like we're covering the difference to pay the rent.
But we were short like $3,000 or something like that. Yeah. And then
that was struggle was.
And then the second, and then this, I think the 5th or 6th month, it was like barely any rents. We were
trickled in there, right? Like you had done flips with your brother. I don't really remember that stage. Like, did you make money with the flips?
The flips, we made money.
You did, right?
But at the same time, financial literacy, we had none. So that's another lesson that we learned. But after the Airbnb, we also let go of that. That failed epically. And then from that point on, we continued flipping. We flipped about 20
portfolios, right? Then, that was more recent. But then we got into long-term property rentals, which is way more our stilo.
Yeah.
Fix those up. That's where we kind of learned the hard way that you got.
I think me and my brother flipped about 15 to 20. We ended up touching about 15 to 20 properties. Yes, we made some money, but we're not good with money to the point where we knew how to reinvest it. We just thought we made the money. It was, once again, we made it, And then from that point on, we started getting to long-term rentals, like you said. And then from there on, the rest is kind of history.
So we've done quite a bit. We've done quite a bit as far as trying to see things that work, and you're constantly looking into other things that could actually work. So that went down a rabbit hole.
I think that's a bit of a curse that I have.
I think it's a
Because it's like it's like just focus on this is why I'm so happy I'm married to you, because it's like I get like shiny new object syndrome every time I turn a corner, you know? And it's like I feel like, oh, this can work, or I can make this work. And I just like the entrepreneurial spirit in me. I think just
But I do think
shines.
I think I've learned from you as you've learned from me. So like definitely don't put all of your eggs in one basket, where I was like, no, perfect one thing, get great at that. And I do think that we do need to do that within the businesses that we choose to be a part of. But I think we hadn't found something that we were super passionate about that stuck. We were just trying to make money. And I think now we finally have found something that we really enjoy.
Like the shiny new object syndrome that I'm doing, so it's a best of both worlds, is sticking to the same avenue right now. It's not like, in this avenue, and now we're gonna go completely, something different, right?
Totally different. Yeah.
So it works very well.
That's up. Side note, he did also try the whole, was it not Bitcoin, the
The crypto trading. I was
all
on to talk about that.
yeah, we're not gonna get into
That
this
was
is first subject. All right. So raising strong kids or happy kids?
I think happy kids, because a happy kid is considered a strong kid in my opinion, because for example,
So you're gonna say here.
a happy kid, a strong kid, just because you're strong doesn't mean you're happy, ultimately that's the goal for him is just to be happy.
Absolutely.
So I would think strong kid, I mean a happy, sorry.
Yeah, I think happy kids are strong kids. Loved, confident, secure. I think that plays into it. All right, you're on death row. What would be your last meal?
Last meal, and me that I've been in a diet for about since right now it's sitting, I would think of,
Including dessert. So like meal and dessert.
okay,
And what's your drink?
I know exactly what we're doing.
Okay, go.
I'm doing a beer bar burger.
Oh,
Shout out beer bar. A beer bar burger. We're doing the golden, and then we're going to nitrogen ice cream and getting a vanilla, 2 balls of vanilla ice cream with a warm chocolate cookie in the bottom. Remember that? Oh man, I'm gonna go there now.
yeah, no. Um,
What's yours?
you kind of answered my death row meal. Oh my god, that's so hard for me. Probably some type of fat, delicious steak, fries, Coke Zero.
Yeah, but you gotta be more specific though. Like from where?
Okay, a ribeye.
From?
I'm not picky, and probably I'd be happy at Chili's with you, just having the ribeye. I mean, take me. What was the place that we went to actually for one of our birthdays? It's a Michelin star restaurant. It's amazing.
Oh, Cold. Oh, Cold. That was so good.
A meal at Cote, a steak,
That was A5. That's A5 steak.
whatever that was.
So good. That was probably the best steak. Yeah,
That was years ago.
that was years ago.
All right, so that way, and then dessert.
Something with ice cream, because I'm not convinced. But ice cream.
But I'm a chocolate girl. I would be like, that's probably the same thing because it's best of both worlds. Ice cream and a cookie, but warm. It has to be warm. All right. Well, that wraps it up. I don't know if you want to switch gears on me. If you have any questions for me other than that. Oh, you know what? I lied. I'm not done yet. So what is next for you right now? Like, let's do short term, long term, 1 month, 6 month, 1 year. What do you?
1 month is we continue doing exactly what we're doing. We're growing the business. We're, mixing, like I said, wearing both hats. Parents, 3 hats: parent, husband, business owner. So right now it just grows the business, scale. I think we're going to put processes in place, and to make sure that we're scalable. Put the right people in the right place. My goal for this year is to make sure that this company operates without us, that we're able to leave it, because at the end of the day, if you're here, if you have to be in the business for it to be operational, you're gonna be you have a job at the end of the day, and that's not we head into this door. Tommy Mello, yeah, that's our yeah, he's great. When I get enough money, I'm definitely doing this.
Bring him on.
I will.
He'll come.
I would live.
We're in home preparation. He's
Home services, yeah. He no, but that 100% we want to put the right processes in place where we're able to not be in the business for it to be operational. That's next year.
really be the leader of the business versus
I also want to be.
It's whatever.
I never won this gymnastics or soccer, whatever academy we decides to do. Opera, singing, whatever, whatever. I always want to be there. Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't want to. I always want to make sure. It's one of my promises to myself is to make sure that I'm always there for her. So within the next 18, 30 years, I always, that's a promise, obviously. And yeah, but that's basically it. Basically, grow the business and be the best father and husband I possibly can, and healthy too.
Yeah. Well, 'cause all right. So thank you so much for tuning into everything in between. If the episode resonated with you, go ahead and share it with someone who needs to hear it.